I want y'all to understand that haters have a job to do.
There are too many of them. What are we going to do?
Fight!
I mean, sir, I believe, yes, sucking at sports could be an inherited trait. It is Wednesday, March 15th, 2017, and the weather is being a bit funny in Illinois. One day it's 70 outside, the next day it is 30 below, snow 12 feet high, but it is what it is. I tell you what, NIT basketball, why I don't like it. I'm going to start the show off today with that because I saw a couple games yesterday. Mainly, I was watching Valpo, Illinois, and I'm not. I've never been a fan of the NIT. Why? Because it's kind of like you could tell a lot of the players don't want to be there. People have compared it to the college football bowl games where you have like whatever pizza bowls or whatever, the lower tier bowl games, and it's a bit different because I know at the bowl games you get gifts and prizes or whatever, just one extra game, but the NIT can kind of drag out to, I think it's 4 games to win the entire thing. There are a bunch of reasons that it's almost like you cringe when you're watching it. It's like the party that no one wants to go to, but you just there's no one else. There's nowhere else to go. You didn't get invited to the most popular party, so you kind of give that excuse. You kind of want to give that excuse of I got other things to do today, or it's kind of like when that buddy calls you and hey, you want to come to this thing, and you don't, you just don't want to disappoint, but you kind of want to make that lame excuse of, I can't make it today because I got to go adopt a kid or something, whatever it is. And the thing about the NIT is, the teams that get invited, some of them, they get the snub from the, from the NCAA, the main tournament, and you just feel bad for those teams. Like, you see a Syracuse or something like that, and you don't. If you're a fan, it's kind of like a punch below the belt. You just you don't want to see your team. You just want the year to end, and you want to go home and get ready for next year. So, the NIT in my book is definitely a shoulder shrugger, and it's just what it is. Speaking of U of I, University of Illinois, fighting Illini men's basketball, coach hires and fires, or coach fires and hires, excuse me. I only care about one, and that is the one that's happening at Illinois. John Gross was fired. Athletic director Josh Whitman made, in my mind, a very wise choice. I don't remember the last time we had a high-end recruit from Chicagoland area. And if you look around, even last year, St. Louis, I don't think we had a chance at Tatum. I don't think we had a chance at some of the other guys. There's a kid right now who is going to Purdue, Nojel Easton, is one of the best players out of Chicago. How did we not get him? Yes, we got 5-star Jeremiah Tillman, and hopefully he stays. There's not been any word yet on whether he's leaving or not. Usually recruits leave when the coach that they were recruited by was fired, but no word of that thus far. So as far as who the Illini will bring in, we don't know. There's speculation of, you just never know. There's speculation of Johnny Jones out of LSU, the one who got fired from LSU, and whomever the Illini bring in, they got to get Chicago right away. You have to get the top. You have to get at least one of the top at least 5 players, because usually Chicago every year has a 4 or 5 star athlete, one that's ranked in the ESPN top 50, and you have to get one. I mean, we went through the Derrick Rose era, the Jabari Parker era. I mean, you just name them, and they just leave. Jahlil Okafor. The list goes on and on. So, with that being said, we're gonna keep a watch on the Jeremiah Tillman situation to see where that goes. I'm getting emails as I speak, and I'll just say this last thing to the people who email me about LeVar Ball, and how I side with him. Okay, I'm gonna explain this very carefully so you'll understand. I side with him simply because he supports his son's dream. Now that on that end of the thing on table, I side with him. Okay, he saw all 3 of his sons having a dream to play basketball, and as he said in one of his interviews, that keeps them out of trouble. And these days, anything to keep a teenager out of trouble, because there's a lot of things out there that a young man can get involved in, and 80% of it is on the wrong side of the law. The comments he made, I kind of just skirt past a lot of the stuff he says. The whole $1 billion shoe deal. Obviously, they won't get that immediately. Okay, Nike's not going to give an unproven athlete on the pro level $1 billion, and I think LeVar Ball knows it. But it's like when you go into a job interview, you ask for that, you go high before they go low. So maybe he gets 500 million, 200 million. I don't know. Maybe he gets 80 million and takes it right away. It could all be bluffing. And the thing is, the media has already made him a star. He's on ESPN every day. The LeVar Ball or the Ball family watch. He's on Fox Sports. So I mean, he's even on BeSquadSport. I mean, every day we talk about him. So he's one. Reminds me of the talk show host, one political lady, Tommy Loren, and she became famous because of the critical stuff she was saying, and she got everybody's attention, and bam, now she's the highlight of the internet, so to speak. So, that said, with this whole LeVar Ball thing, the Jordan comments, he would beat Jordan 1-on-1. We all know that's not true. I mean, come on, we all know that Jordan would have probably put up 50 on the guy. And I'm not saying LeVar Ball couldn't play basketball. I don't know. I know his stats at Washington State were pretty low, but I think he's just saying that in playfulness, and people got to stop taking everything he puts on the table so seriously. The thing that I do shake a little bit at is like Chino Hill's basketball team. Both his sons, they lost to school Bishop Montgomery in the CIF. The regionals. So I do kind of cringe at that, because now you have shows that are, or sports stations that are going to point out all the negative things that happen. And you know how it is in life. There are people out there that they want to see bad. They want to see negative things happen. So you just got to be careful with that. That's the only thing he has to be careful with, because he said, well, I want to put a target on my son's chest or my son's back, and you just got too many. The one thing I worry about with Lonzo Ball is he's a real nice kid. You see it in all his interviews. He's a ball player, but in the NBA you have those bullies, and I'm not talking about like bullies who would so-called fight you or beat you up. I'm talking about those bullies who hand out the hard fouls or who body you up. Case in point, Draymond Green. He is the modern day Bill Laimbeer. He's out there to make you hurt. And the only thing about Draymond Green, he's a scoring. He can score. He's a scoring Bill Laimbeer prototype, so to speak. So that said, you don't want to see Lonzo Ball take unnecessary physical hits or pain or in his first year or first 2 years. You don't want him to just constantly be attacked because it's a long season in the NBA. One that I've never experienced. LeVar Ball himself has never experienced, or most people haven't. So, do I think Lonzo Ball, like I said before, he's going to be a great player? That said, another email that came through, it's complaining about, I appreciate you guys listening to the show. I really do. But I don't complain about small stuff. In the email, basically, in emailer, you know who you are, complaining about small stuff in sports that really doesn't matter. And the complaint was about athletes, the kid out of why people aren't talking more about the kid out of what is it, Oklahoma, Mixon, believe his name is, and how he punched the one girl, and I actually think he broke bones in her face. It did, the complaint was, like I said, enough sports stations not putting a highlight on women's violence against women and this and that. I don't know. He if I were a GM, would he be on my team? Everybody deserves a second chance, but I don't think. I always look what Bill Belichick does, and I know Bill Belichick. You talk about cheating and this and that, but the one thing you don't hear about, Patriots, or at least I haven't heard. Maybe if I'm wrong, somebody email me and let me know. But a lot of serious crimes. Deflating balls and flying a helicopter over a practice, that's one thing. But smacking a female in the face and breaking some, jawbones or whatever, that's a whole different ball game. And I don't think coaches like Belichick will put up with that. And I appreciate him for that. That said, would I draft this guy? I wouldn't. I don't even think he's the best running back or one of the best 5 running backs, but that's just my opinion. I mean, he's I would go after a guy, like a Leonard Fournette or Alvin Kamara, guy who can do it, everything, or could, get me, 1,000, be a perennial 1,000-yard rusher per season. So that's that, and as far as the complaining, constant complaining that I get, I don't buy too far into complaining, because you hang around people who complain, you buy into that, you begin to complain about everything. And I just, I don't want to go off tangent, I want to stick everything to sports, but I've seen people who constantly complain, like, this is going on today. And I know it's sports radio but it's not a place to vent. Like, oh man, this is messed up and this is messed up. And I'll just say this, because I know they're about to sound the alarm on the show. It's so, and I don't like when they do that. I hate when they do that. So that said, I watched the interview with a girl from North Korea, a young lady. It was on Facebook about how they don't have too much freedom over there. One TV channel, and no books. Well, obviously, everything is propaganda. So some of the freedoms we have, you just have to take the opportunity to make something of it. I go back to when people try to race bait me and say, oh, black, the NFL, NBA is slavery and whatnot. But then you look at, the white guys in the NBA and the NFL. You look at a Tom Brady playing the same game. You look at a J.J. Watt. And I'm not saying you don't have black guys. So please don't tell me, well, yeah, don't send me the coon stuff. I mean, because that's funny, But you got a guy like Marshawn Lynch who takes his opportunity, and he's building, youth centers. You take Tom Brady, he makes a brand out of it, and these guys are doing other investments. I like when I don't see guys buying $250,000 chains and this and that, because you get the youth thinking that's the thing to do with your money. And believe me, from a guy that went broke, you just, better money management is one thing that I think professional sports as a whole lacks. I'm going to do a radio show on that, because I saw something that Jalen Rose did. I even posted it on BeSquadSport.com, where he talked about the new entourage and how, or the new age entourage, where you got guys who come around strictly to sap you and stuff, and family and this and that. So
I gotta stop. This fight's finished. I gotta call it. Look, champ, you can't do no more out there. I'm here fighting. He's killing you. I gotta stop this thing.
But I'll cover that because, like I said, I'm being Wayne to shut it down.
Run it down! Run it down!
That said, don't forget to log on to, or go on to BeSquadSport.com, BeSquadSportBlogs.com, and check out BeSquadSport, the magazine. Until then, like I said, tomorrow they may give me 30 minutes, they may not, so I'm seeing as I get more interesting, my time lengthens. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you then.